Number 10 of the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League here from Imola, a track steeped in history with many layout changes across the years as well. It still retains, though, its character and its relatively flowing nature here in the hills of mid-Italy. It is the third last round of our championship before we travel to round the rest of Europe for the rest of this season. The Red Bull Ring and Circuit Zandvoort will round out our season over the next couple of weeks. Lee Aberdeen has taken charge of this championship so far. We'll see if he can be caught by some of the others, with myself, Bjorn O'Leary, James Poppet alongside me as well. It's a circuit that is pretty narrow, to be honest, but these cars are quite small, so we should get away with that. And it's certainly a big challenge for everybody as well. This circuit, we'll see how they get on in another, I'm sure, exciting race here tonight.
Yeah, it's always exciting. Come on, we do IGP Sundays, right? We love it. It's absolutely madness. We haven't got as many drivers, but then again, I think maybe the Bathurst 12 hour might have something to do with that. We've only got 34 on the racetrack, but it is Bathurst weekend, so, you know, people are like, no, I'm tired, I'll go to bed. I mean, what round? But I think this one is going to be exciting. I do like Imola. I'm not going to lie. I like it. It's not up there with my favourite, but it's not up there with the worst either.
No, it's all right. I just hope that, yeah, it is going to be good at wheel-to-wheel racing. That's the most important thing. This is with one drop week applied, by the way, these standings. Lee Aberdeen leading the way ahead of Luca Varani. He's 39 points behind. Then Antonio Jimenez, another 3 back and another 1 position back. Is and 1 point back, indeed. Just Ludovic Ranson in 4th. Then it's Simon Pesci who rounds out the top 5. Brent Ruiz is next to Vandy Flint. Dennis Cornu. Then there's a bigger gap back to Eddie Amos and Jesper Sandström rounding out the top 10. Mackenzie Roone hasn't quite got to 200 points yet. Neither has Joseph Lucas, Adam Talsma, Ben Goethe and Giovanni Solito rounding out the top 15. Adrian Centurion, then Alexis de Klerk, Eunice, Bart-Jan van der something.
Van der Laan.
He's missed out. I'm not sure why the best part of his name is
picked
missing.
it up like that. I can't help that.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, and John McKenzie as well. You can tell these graphics package were made by people who have got an American or Anglified way of looking at names, because someone with 5 names and the system has said, "What on earth am I doing with all them?"
Yep.
And there you go. So apologies to him, but it is Bart-Jan van der Laan, who's in this race, by the way, and he's currently in 19th. In this qualifying session at the moment. It is Lee Aberdeen's to lose, though. Even if you apply 2 drop weeks, his gap only decreases to 27 points. So that means that Brent Ruiz effectively needs to finish 9 positions ahead of him, because Brent Ruiz jumps to 2nd, by the way, in case I didn't mention. If you add 2 drop weeks in, then Simon Fessi 3rd, then Varani actually drops to 4th if you add 2 drop weeks in instead of just the 1. Antonio Jimenez and also Ludovic Ranson do get pretty close as well. That's 6 drivers covered by 35 points. But Lee Aberdeen holds all the cards. If he finishes inside the top 8 through the rest of this season, maybe even the top 10, but we'll see. Yeah, certainly the top 8, then he will be champion in a couple of weeks' time.
Will, but he did have a bit of a disaster last time out. I'm aware that Lee Aberdeen on lap 2 got hit. Whole rear wing ripped off. Be a little bit careful, because Simon Fessi took the win. Ludovic Rancon and Andy Flint on the podium. So for Lee Aberdeen, he obviously doesn't want to get himself in over the rest of the season.
No, certainly not. We'll see how they all get on here tonight as the seconds tick by. Lois Brella makes his way over the start-finish line now, just in time to get one more lap in. Lee Aberdeen is out there, but is not going to be improving by the looks of things. Yunus Amal is the only driver inside the top 5 in that case who will actually be able to improve it. Eddie Amos comes towards the line here. He's got a purple second sector at the moment. We'll see where he can jump up to here later on in the session. Should be able to make up a place or 2, I would have thought. The lap time here, if it counts. Maybe not. Doesn't look like it counts for him. Edwin Pescari over the line as well. Those are personal bests from him. Rani makes his way through. I'm not sure I believe that he's only 8 seconds into his lap, considering he's in the final 2 corners at the moment. See what the actual time says as Adam Talsma goes off just up in front of him. It's just a practicing pit lane job for Varani, who comes into pit lane. 8th place for him in qualifying. That's absolutely okay. As Eddie Amos goes for a spin and, wow, finding himself very deep in the tyre wall.
Yeah, and then rips all the tyres off. And literally has none on there. So for poor old Eddie Amos, not good. Nick Carty is coming over the line. Sean Pulsifer is also coming towards, he's on his way down to Ravazza, the double left-hander, of course, at the top right-hand corner of the track map. So I think this one's could be an interesting one. I'll be interested to see if people can survive or if people can't survive. That's going to be the situation here, I think, Mr. O'Leary, to be honest with you.
That is always the key. The purple zone, for those that this series, you'll know that there is a period where no active overtakes can be made, just to keep things a little bit cleaner on lap 1. It runs right the way round to turn 6, by the way, which is at the Variante Villeneuve, the second chicane. So not into Tamburello, the first 3 corners. It's actually turns 2, 3 and 4 on this circuit. And then you have 5 and 6 at Villeneuve. And you've got to not make your active overtakes into there either. Adrian Pascari over the line again here. This is Nick Carty, though, I think, is it? Making his way over the line. No, it is Pascari, who just makes his way over at the moment. He hasn't got a time on the board yet, and still hasn't, by the looks of things. So that is that for him. On the grid here, 34 drivers at the moment. Adrian Pascari did try, at least, to set a time. Wasn't able to do it, so we should get him starting at least from the back of the field. Dorian Arroyo might not start, though, from the back. Unfortunately, he didn't do any qualifying. Suggests that he might have done a bit of practice and seen enough and thought, oh, I'm not going to compete. It's going to be Lee Aberdeen who takes another pole position, though, ahead of Brent Ruiz, with Mackenzie Roon and Jakub Olszewski on row 2. Yunus Amal and Ellis Plugi round out row 3, ahead of Kevin Dremstra and then Luca Varani. Tony Jimenez and Stefan Dodder round out the top 10, with Patrick Williams and Ludovic Ranson down in 12th place for the man who is in the top 6 in the championship. Andy Flint and Dennis Cornu share the row behind them, with Jonathan Cazorla rounding out the top 15. Then it's Loris Bella with Simon Pesci and Noah Flugi rounding out row 9. Bart-Jan van der Laan is in 19th, ahead of Richard Van Veen. That's another triple name, by the way. Then it's Koji Ito just outside the top 20, with Clark Williams a further 3 attempts behind. Giovanni Solito and Adam Townsma round out row 12. Then it's John McKenzie ahead of Eddie Amos, with Nick Carty, Oscar Artanalo, Patrick Rowlands, Jake Glasser, Tony Dyke, Sean Posfer, and also Adrian Pascari, who will be making his way onto the grid. Let's hope Dorian Arroyo does as well, but I'm not particularly hopeful that he will get onto the back of the grid. It's another big day for everybody in the championship, it's fair to say. Lee Aberdeen, though, in the perfect position possible, starting from the pole.
Yeah, he is at the moment. He's done a great job. So good, well done for Lee. He's just got to make sure he can get it round turn 1 without any dramatics, because otherwise it could be a very, very interesting turn 1 for him. I do like Ridgway's racing. He's poor old good old Robert Ridgway's come in and gone, oh, leery me. There we go. I know. I don't even know why. It just makes me laugh every time he does it. It comes in with some random stuff.
I think it's a play on my name.
I think it is, but I'm not quite sure in conjunction what that too. Could be the fact that that point when your teeth didn't work. I'm not sure.
I hope not. Let's see as the lights come on here at the start of this race. Round number 10 of the iGPFun Formula Lights League for 2025, and we're underway. It's a pretty good start from Mackenzie Roon on the second row. He's immediately going to get boxed in here as he's got Brent Ruiz to his right-hand side and Aberdeen up in front, but he immediately pulls ahead here in towards turn 1 and then has to stamp on the brakes as Aberdeen gets onto the brakes pretty early. Roon had to react there. Ruiz did the same, and so did everybody else. Then it's Olszewski, followed by Yunus Amal, then Flugi in 6th place, now 7th, as Kevin Dremstra moves through. Now they come out of turn number 6. Now the active overtakes will be made. It's still side by side, though, for 6th position. Yeah,
Flugi and Dremstra running side by side. Slight little bit of a wheel bang in through toes that they go on the run up into the Piratella. I'm a bit worried about how Mackenzie Roon cleared Brent Ruiz there, whether or not that was an active overtake or some dramatics taking shape. But Flugi is not giving Dremstra. He's got the inside. Is he going to run him all the way down to Acra Minerale, the double right-hander? Dremstra's going to have the inside line for that one. Goes through. Kevin Dremstra holds on to that position, but Flugi is not laying up. But I do wonder what they're going to think about Mackenzie Roon gaining a position at the start.
I think it should be okay because almost after they were past the grid hatchings, to be honest, he was already ahead and through and alongside. So I don't think there was anything wrong with that, but we will see. Here comes Ruiz trying to earn that place back again as he moves on the way towards Ravazza now. The outside line for these final couple of corners. It's later on the brakes there from Rune. He's gone too deep though. Brett Ruiz comes straight back through on the inside line. That was always going to happen with Rune so deep on the brakes on the inside line. Lee Aberdeen's been given a big margin to move clear here as a result of this battle, but it's an entertaining one for second place. Here comes Rune on the left-hand side and through the middle, maybe Olszewski. No, he's not going to go for this. Maybe Yunus Samal will. 4 wide very nearly on the way towards turn 1. Outside line here for Olszewski. He's going to be brave round the outside here. Is he going to get the space? Just about gets the space from Ruiz. And somehow they're in the same positions they were as they went down towards the bottom of the hill there, the final couple of corners at Ravazza.
How they managed it in the same positions, I have no idea. I thought they were going to go 3 wide, then I thought we were going to see 4 wide, and then all of a sudden it was just everybody's back into where they were. It's absolutely mental. Ludovic Rancon, Tony Jimenez, they're fighting out at the same time. Jimenez has lost that position to Rancon. Rancon's now in front. Andy Flynn tucked in behind him, doing a great job sitting in 12th at the moment. Lots of battles still there. Patrick Williams is off the order. He's towards the back end of the field. I think it's because he left pit lane. I think he entered in the pit lane and started maybe even out of pit lane. So for Patrick Williams, he's a little bit further back. But everybody at this moment in time are in nice, close little battles. Lee Aberdeen, though, escaping out in front, 1.4 seconds.
Well, that's what happens when you battle for second place. Oh, Jakub Olszewski's gone off down the Variante Alta. He's spun to the outside of the corner, and he's been joined. Oh, he's been hit now as well. Oh, someone's gone toppling over him down at the Variante Alta there. It's disaster for a number of cars that are dropping down the field. Bolting over him was Koji Ito in the 146. He's lost his front wing. Olszewski's given up. He's gone back to the pit lane. And Bojan Vanderlaan also went for a spin. He created a slalom course between himself and Jakub Olszewski, who just got up over the curve a bit too much there. And then he got vaulted over by Ito. Look at the chance he had here. I don't imagine Koji Ito had much of a chance. He had to go round Vanderlaan. He couldn't see Olszewski in time. He went straight over the top of him. And that's his front wing gone. He'll be down pit lane as well.
There he is at the moment. Koji Ito has gone into pit lane. Jakub Olszewski at the same time. Three people having crashes. The spin was bad enough. Then, unfortunately, as you say, Bojan Vanderlaan spun, and then Ito's trying to do the slalom course. Couldn't make it through, unfortunately, for him. Flugy and Swemstra still running nose to tail, but it's behind that as well. We've got Dodora, Varani, Rancon, Jimenez, Flint, Cornu, Simon Fessi, last week's winner, Jonathan Cazzola, Noah Flugy, obviously the brother of Ili, and then Loris Bella in behind. So this is a nice little pack developing behind, and at the moment, and it's led by Stefan Dodora, who's got Luca Varani closing in.
We're all closing up in the middle of the pack. They're letting the leaders get away. You can see the gaps in the top 5 stretching out as Kevin Dremster's putting under a lot of pressure here from Boogie on the way towards Ravazza. No move made quite, but it's very close, goodness me. Boogie very nearly going straight into the back of Dremster, but just about avoiding it. And needs a good run out of the corner and on the front straight. Let's see if Boogie can have a go in towards Tamburello maybe. A long way back really. A decent slipstream from these cars on this front straight. It's making overtaking relatively possible where it isn't normally, but not quite for these guys. Further back it will. Varani is under a lot of pressure from Ranson. Jimenez under even more from Flint, and there goes Varani. He's going to be straight through. Look at this. Flint is under pressure, or trying to put the pressure on Jimenez there. And Cornu, Dennis Cornu's right in behind. Just watch him pop up here, maybe on the left-hand side. Here he goes. Alongside Simon Fessi, who's looking for his way through as well here. On the way side by side, not quite. They have to stay in line just about, but they're all queuing up here to make these passes. Flugy has now got through on Zwemstra. It's all changed here. Side by side a bit further behind. So just saw someone switch a little bit further down. Don't know who it was. But it's really, really close in this midfield. These are where the battles are. And there's someone, one of the lap cars, getting out of everybody's way. It is very busy back here indeed. Yeah,
it definitely is. Starting from, as you say, Ilya Flugy and Kevin Zwemstra. He got the job done, did Flugy over Zwemstra. So we'll have a quick look back and see how he do it. Dived into, that's Tozer, and he got the job done there as well. Zwemstra left the door wide open. We're going to go back to the action because it's thick and fast. But as with any action that we normally look at, you can see the front people every single time are escaping. Mackenzie Runes escaped a second up the road from Eunice Amel. Eunice Amel's escaped nearly a second up the road from Elia Flugie. Kevin Zwemstra now a second back from that. So they're all starting to drop the lead. The leader is starting to drop the pack behind every time they start fighting. Now we've got Rancon and Varani. They're continuing to fight on that run down into Tamburello, and it looks like Rancon might get him.
Cazorla and Flugie as well. Noah Flugie are going side by side a bit further down. Cazorla getting back through again. Lois Bala trying to get involved as well. Oh, hello. Little look down the inside from Flugie at the last moment. He didn't go for it. He can't really lunge at Tamburello, to be honest, and so had to back out of it. Further up, front there. Noah Flugie's...
big crash!
Big crash between Fluggy and Zwemstra, and collected in the carnage. Oh, someone collected. Ludovic Ranson was collected there as he tried to come through. It's disaster down at Villeneuve just in before Toza. It's been a big incident here. Zwemstra and Fluggy make contact. They get stuck together. They drive each other into the wall, come across the circuit, and he just gets clipped there, Ludovic Ranson. He just got clipped. I think it was Luca Varani who only just made it past on the left-hand side. And
So
dear,
weird.
oh dear.
They got linked together, didn't they? Oh, there's Rancon. Off he goes. Still going backwards, Baylesim. That was a very, very bizarre incident. But Tony Jimenez has got Danny Cornu tucked in right behind him from Unity. So Eunice Amal representing Unity Racing. Danny Cornu representing Unity. They're in 2 cars, I think it is, in the top 10. No, 3, because we've got Simon Fessy in behind them. But they were almost stuck together. They were almost like Velcro together and couldn't go apart from each other.
It was very weird. They accelerated straight into the wall, and they're both out of the race now, unfortunately. So that'll be that for those two. Here comes Dennis Cornu on the outside line of Tony Jimenez, and he should be on his way through now in towards Tamburello. Well, maybe. Oh, just about. He breaks that up. He's going to be compromised, though. He's going to go off, in fact. Here comes Jimenez on the way back again. He's unfortunately not got the best line there, and Simon Fessy is going to try and come through. In reply, he's not going to get anywhere on that occasion, though, and so Cornu gets the place. Here comes Fessy again at Toza. No, he's defending, excuse me, from Andy Flint, who we go on board with here in 10th place. A group still together again, despite the carnage of the last lap.
Yeah, despite them playing zigzags like a ski slalom, they managed to make it all through, and we've still got the same group of Cornu, Jimenez, Fessy and Flint. We'll jump on board with Flint because I think we might be in prime position to watch some of what's going to develop out in front. If any one of these make one single error, they could be really, really, Andy Flint could capitalize from this. All the same, into Variante Alta, the right and left. This is a very horrible corner. I've given these in V8s, Gen 3s. It's an absolute nightmare, but still action all the way through. I like to pick up on this because Ruiz has closed up here. Aberdeen must have made a mistake because Brent Ruiz is now tucked in 2 temps behind him.
A good point. Let's see what the lap times are this time round for Lee Aberdeen as he's put under pressure. Look at that, 34.3. And that is nearly a second slower than Brent Ruiz, who's on a charge. He's set the fastest lap of the race so far, and he's through into the lead of this race all over again, ahead of Lee Aberdeen, who's in second. Then it's a change for 7th here between Jimenez and Cornu and Fessy on the way towards Tamburello. It's Jimenez who hangs on to the places, although he's going to be compromised again. Here comes Cornu again on the other side. Bessy's going to be coming up as well, but is not going to get anywhere that time round. That surprised me, that change for the lead. I thought Lee Aberdeen was gone and that was done.
Yeah, no, he clearly he's made a mistake because he lost 7 temps at some point there for Lee Aberdeen. Jimenez taking that inside line round Toza. He's should have to be able to get the run out. What's Cornu's run on the outside? That's going to be the thing. Betty's got the, I don't know what you want to call it, the sparkly halo, and Danny Cornu has got the flat red. So we've got Matt and Sparkly in behind there for Tony Jimenez. I couldn't remember the word. I still can't.
Yeah, they're at least trying to distinguish between the two, which is more than some other teams attempt to do for us. So we'll be thankful for that. In towards Variante Alta they go, and this is allowing Noah Flugie and Lois Bella to both catch up here in 11th and 12th. So they're going to be involved here very shortly. In fact, they are within a second. It does look like Jimenez is a little bit slower than these guys, to be honest. Let's see how much slower, and if indeed that is even true. Once he gets into second place here and he gets the slipstream suddenly of Cornu, maybe it'd be a bit of a different story. It might reach a bit of a stalemate now, with Jimenez getting the slipstream from Cornu but not getting close enough to overtake. And given the fact he's getting the slipstream, Fessie's going to find it very difficult, but he just gets some himself here. Fessie closes in, needs to be a bit closer than that, does he? Yes, he just backs out at the last moment. Should have taken the racing line, really, instead of showing his nose alongside and then not keeping it there. It is a pretty tentative move there from Fessie. And Jimenez keeps hold of 8th place, but this still by far the largest group and by far the largest and most exciting group on the field.
Yeah, I don't know about the exciting group. We've got Bart-Jan Vanderland and Patrick Rowlands were having a nice little ding-dong down here earlier on. They were swapping places a couple of times, these guys. And also Oscar Artinano and Adrian Pescari were also swapping. So there's action all the way down through. A couple of packs developing, which is nice to see, which I think is awesome. But you can see here that the situation now is obviously with Luca Varani slowly dropping off Denny Cornu, and Cornu's got this battle in behind him. There's all the way down to Loris Berla, who is there at the moment, and he's not too far in front of Jonathan Cazorla. So if they carry on, they're going to be battling and with a lot of more cars than this. And at the moment, Noah Fluge is putting Andy Flint under all sorts of pressure.
Oh, it's full. Dear, oh dear, how there wasn't contact there, I've got no idea. Or how it didn't affect either of them. Anyway, Flugie there was so close in behind Andy Flint in towards Rabatzi. You could see it happening, to be honest. You could see exactly what was happening there, braking slightly too late, very nearly getting and running straight into the back of Flint and running him over. Here comes Jimenez again on Cornu, in towards turn number 2, in towards Tamburello. He's late break on the brakes on the inside line. He's going to be through. He's going to be compromised on the exit, though. Slides his way out the corner. Now, where's Cornu going to go? Is he going to get alongside? Well, a little bit. Fessie's there as well. He's going to back out now. Here comes Cornu on the inside line. Jimenez holds the inside for turn 6. And they're all going to stack up now. Where are they all going to go? Jimenez still on the outside line in time for Tozer. Cornu still holding on to the inside line. And maybe his teammate's going to help him now in whatever way he can. Simon Fessie trying to follow him through, maybe. Jimenez still on the outside line. He will be for Piratella as well. It's a very long way around the outside there, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just backs out of it here. And he does, but it might cost him another place here. Here comes Fessie again. And here comes some of the others. Side by side in Rocca Minerale. It's gone wrong. It's gone wrong for Simon Fessie, who tried to do it round the outside. It wasn't going to work. He lost traction. He spins to the outside of the corner. And all hell's broken loose now in this group. Here comes Noah Flugie through into 8th place. What a drive from him in these last couple of moments. Andy Flint follows him through, and Jimenez is bleeding places.
He is, and also Mackenzie Roon has crashed. He's lost a place to Stefan Dodera, Luca Varani, Yunus Amal. Mackenzie Roon is now down in 6th place. Why all that's going on, we'll have a look at the incident with Simon Fessie in a minute. I just want to see how this one pans out on the run down into Tamburello. But at the moment, it is carnage everywhere. Jimenez, as you say, leaked positions, you know, more than a tap fixed by a dodgy plumber. It's just been absolutely horrendous. And now he's got Jonathan Cazorla, who might be able to give him a hand here. But it's whether or not this is going to work here. Cazorla does go through. Is he going to add this protector to Jimenez? Well, time's going to tell. I hope they're sitting in the same voice chat, because at the moment, Cazorla and Jimenez, well, they're going to be under pressure. And the only one that didn't capitalize on that was Loris Berla. He just could not get through. Unlike Andy Flynn, unlike Noah Flugie, they all managed to get through. Simon Fessie is out at the moment, and this gives us time now. They've just about settled down to have a look on the outside here.
I don't think there was contact. I don't think there was. It just lost a lot of traction on the exit there. It's really close. There might have been contact afterwards, as Fessie was already spinning round, and Jimenez couldn't slow himself down to stop the contact from happening. Now, this might give us a better view on board.
Oh, that was either the biggest load of internet I've ever seen, or he's lost out on his own.
I suspect, well, either are possible, to be honest. I'd describe that as inconclusive, but there wasn't real contact, if that's what I was looking for. It was either netcode or a spin on his own. It was quite a sudden break of traction for it to be non-contact, so we'll see about that when the drivers make their own report later on. Here comes Cazorla down the inside, and Richard Van Veen is held off by him. Cazorla's lost a lot of time suddenly. He's been passed by Loris Bella, and suddenly Tony Jimenez is up the road in 10th place. As you say, Mackenzie Roon is now 6th, but he's on the back of Stefan Dodder and Luca Varani, who are battling away for 4th place.
Yeah, not quite sure. I forgot about that. Here we go. There's Mackenzie Roon's drama. Sorry, I was so concentrated on the gaggle of what was going on behind him. That's Yunus Amal in behind that. I've got a funny feeling, that was all on his own. Hit the sausage curb and that was it, gone. And then people just going straight past him there.
Almost exactly what Olszewski did, only spinning to the inside rather than the outside line. Thankfully, the field was less packed up, so he wasn't collected by anybody. In fact, he only had to wait for those two to go past him before getting back going again, which is pleasing for Roon. But he's got to get his set together now, and he's got to get his skates on again here as the two in front are motoring at the moment, and he is going to try and stay with them, trying to pass them again. Mackenzie Roon at the moment, if you had 2 drop weeks to the standings, is currently 11th. He's only done 5 races though, so the drop weeks don't really affect him. In fact, when you apply more, he jumps up the order because it takes away 2 of the 9 races of some others, whereas he's only done 5. Good to see that he's here though for his 6th appearance of the season. Mackenzie Roon, long-time driver in this series, now through the final corner for him in the slipstream of Luca Varani. Might have the problem that Varani's got Dodder as slipstream, but let's see, because that gap is over half a second. This could allow Mackenzie Roon an opportunity here, one that Varani, I think, wishes Roon would take. Left the inside line open there. I'm not sure that was an accident. Down the inside goes Roon, and yes, he's rather been let through by Luca Varani there. So one more position up for Mackenzie Roon, who seems quicker than these guys. He just spun below them earlier.
Yeah, he did. As you say, I think Varani didn't really worry too much about putting up a fight on that one. We've seen Luca do that many times. Andy Flint and Noah Flugie side by side. Oh, Flint does make it through on Flugie. That was an overtake by Andy Flint on Flugie there as well. Robert Ridgway, please change your blinking team names so they're not so long, please. That would be amazing.
Yeah, he did say earlier in the YouTube chat, I think I'll shorten the team names for next season.
Oh, okay.
And so you may get your wish on that one. But if we say it too often, he might keep it to annoy us. We'll be quiet in case that is the the outcome. Oh, Swiggy got that wrong in towards the Variante. Excuse me, Aqua Minerale there. And he's going to pay for it with 9th place. Tony Jimenez goes straight back through as he very nearly rear-ended Andy Flint.
Yeah, and also Simon Fessy has crashed again. Was this all on his own? No, for Fessy this time. Oh, big old dive. Dude, you're going to make contact on the way out. Yep.
Oh, ouch.
Big
on the
old
inside,
dive.
hit the inside curb at turn 6 there and sort of went straight on into the side of him. You know, it's not impossible to go side by side through there, but you've got to stay off the curbs and respect each other. And, well, both of those things didn't happen there.
No, they definitely didn't, but we saw it coming. You could read that a mile off that was going to happen because it was the fact that they'd obviously made contact and it was always going to be a bounce or something off the curb that's going to cause that problem. But these guys at the moment, for Flugie and Bela, closing down on Jimenez, we've got Spark Up and Spark Up 2 chasing down SRP. We have Cazzola in behind, but Cazzola's lost so much time since he was in that fight. He's lost absolutely bucket loads. Oscar Artinanu having a nice little battle down here with the BWRT of Patrick Williams, and Williams has just gone through on him. And then we've got Sean Pulsifer, sorry, I should say. He did DM me the other day. James is Pulsifer, not Pulsifier, as he's going alongside Nick Carty and goes through on Nick Carty. I do love his livery, Sean. I can't be honest, your livery's good.
Any idea what bird that is?
I'm judging it's the Deutschland logo on the front. It looks like the Deutschland bird, but I'm not entirely sure what the ones on the side are.
Yeah. Maybe, although he is Canadian, so what? Oh, yeah, maybe he has a connection to Germany in some way. Oh, Patrick Rowland spun just up in front of them there. Does look a bit like it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I don't really know.
Like the Deutschland logo, but I'm not sure on the birds on the side. So maybe if Sean watches it back, he might be able to fill us in.
Yeah, and he'll be able to lambast me for getting his name wrong earlier. Here comes Stefan Dodder and Mackenzie Roon in their battle for 4th place. And there goes Roon down the inside in towards Tamburello. He's recovered 2 of those 3 places he lost after that spin. I don't think he's going to recover the 3rd of them, to be honest, because Yunus Amal is a long way up the road and he's looking comfortable there. in the podium places, but Rune has at least recovered those 2 places with relative ease.
Yeah, Robert, have a word, son. He gave that up like anything. He didn't really put up a fight, Dodder, that time around. I thought he might have been able to have a little bit more of a... You know what I mean?
There isn't sometimes a lot you can do in towards Tamburello. If you defend the inside for the first part, you're only on the outside for the second anyway. But good news, by the way, Robert said that the formatting is annoying everyone. So good. We're going to get shorter team names. Although no less ridiculous by the looks of it, but just shorter ones, but that's fine.
That's all right, I'm happy with that. I was just trying to see what happened to Elliot Flugie. What happened?
Lost an engine cover there.
He went off track. Did he get caught up? Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was Webster. Sorry, completely lost my marbles on that one. Yes, he did. But there we go.
Someone who actually has gone off in the last couple of moments, by the way, was Jake Glasser with... it was with Sean Pusfer, actually. He's been in the pit lane for just over 30 seconds. Here it is. Oh, Pusfer goes for a spin and gets clattered into by Glasser, who didn't have anywhere to go.
Oh, that livery's destroyed. Pusfer's lost literally all of his car there, like everything. He just got absolutely annihilated. Watch the bits come flying off there. He goes round.
Oh dear.
Then is he going to come back on and is Glass going to go and hit him here? I think he might, you know. Yeah, he is. Bang. Oh, dearie me. Sean. Not sure how they're going to look at that one. And Dodder has just lost that place to Denny Corner.
He's lost a couple of places. He was ahead of Barani before. He's had an incident somewhere because suddenly he's down in 7th place. This is how Barani got through. Dodder going for a spin. Did he lock it? Oh, he did a good job to avoid the wall. A very good job to avoid the wall, but he did lose quite a lot of time. Getting underway again is a bit of a task, but he's done it. Not before Dennis Cornu, though, could get through. And now 6th place for the Frenchman. So that's a couple of positions lost there for Dodder.
Yeah, he managed to hold on to it, which was, I'll tell you what, more than some of these. Flugie's now attacking Jimenez once again. That's Noah, with Loris Bela in behind him, and they're all closing in on Andy Flint. Andy Flint's going to need to get a little bit of a wriggle on very, very shortly. Eddie Amos closing down on Giovanni Solito, who's got Bart-Jan van der Land and Pescari going side by side. Bart there, obviously recovering from his spin earlier on. Has he got Black Betty? Bam a Lamb on that car. I don't suppose you remember that song, do you? Yes.
Even if I was alive, I probably wouldn't know.
Oh, Black Betty, Bam a Lamb. No, right.
No.
Something else you don't know. This just keeps
so
getting
the audience
stronger.
Be asking for a rendition.
Well, it's a very good song.
Further up front, Eddie Amos is giving Giovanni Solito a bit of a challenge in towards turn number 2. Tamburello. He's not going to go through with it, though, on this occasion. Solito hangs on to 15th place. Both of these two have been moving forward so far in this one to varying degrees. 8 positions so far for Solito and 10 for Eddie Amos. But the biggest mover forward so far is, I'm going to award it to Adam Townsburg because he's also getting 10, but he's 2 positions further up at the moment in 14th position for the Canadian. He's running around on his own in 14th at the moment. Eddie Amos looking to make it 11 positions with this overtake here.
I've got Pescari up 15 here.
Have you?
I have.
Yeah, so have I. I'm just blind, though. Okay, that's good. It is going to be 11, though, for Amos here if Solito keeps going off the road. Takes a narrow line in towards, Acca Bit of awkward lines there, and now maybe he's going to have the place. He did go off the circuit there, Solito. Maybe there will be... Oh, no, he's not going to punish him for it. And as they're messing around, Bart-Jan van der Land is now in the fray.
Yeah, Jan van der Land there just tucked in on the back end. I thought Amos should have had him. I think Amos could have put him under a lot more pressure there, but chose not to. Stefan Dodderer is fighting it out with Denny Cornu. Is he going to be able to get him down into turn number 1? He's not. So Denny Cornu manages to survive another day, but it does look like Dodderer's got some pace. We might start seeing him starting to make the way forward. We've still got 12 laps to go.
Plenty of time around this circuit. just over a minute and a half in terms of lap time. So you got, a good 20 minutes left of this race yet. Absolutely bide your time here. Des Cornu is going to want this lap car to get out of the way, and they certainly, well, he's not going to be able to get out of the way if you keep following him around. So Cornu eventually pulls out of his slipstream and takes the overtake. Dodderer now will have a run out of Piratello, really, not quite. Cazorla, meanwhile, further down, has gone off the road and is going to get back on only in 14th place, unfortunately, for Jonathan Cazorla. So that is a few positions lost. Still a gain on the day by 1. It's a very wide run out of Tozer and a bit of grass, and then he sort of spins his car awkwardly around into a place where he needs to make a 3-point turn.
Yeah, he hit the AstroTurf, didn't he? And there's no grips on the AstroTurf. It's game over, unfortunately for him on that one. We've lost John McKenzie, Kevin Zwemstra, Jakob Oleszwinski, Clark Williams, Patrick Rowland, Sean Pulsifer, Ludovic Rancon. He is still running, but I think Sean's still running as well. So it's up to Patrick Rowlands we've lost.
Yes. Still running.
Go on, Dodd. There you go. Dodderer does go through over Denny Corner.
Easily through. Yeah, pretty easily through on the way towards Tamburello that time around. That's 6th place for Stefan Dodderer. Luca Barani is trying to stay with Mackenzie Room, but that's not really happening for the moment. Andy Flint is still got Tony Jimenez and Noah Flugi right in behind. Change down for 15th place as Bart-Jan van der Laan gets past Giovanni Solito. Does that mean van der Laan's got past Solito and Amos here? It does, yes. Doesn't it? Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, he's come up from behind both of them, and he's overtaken them both now into the top 15.
Yeah, he got Eddie Amos here. I think he might get both of them. Might hang on just a minute here. No, he got Amos there, and then I think he's going to get Solito a little bit further down for Bart-Jan van der Laan.
Same place next lap.
Yeah, I think so. There it is, down into turn 1.
There you go.
Job done.
It's the only realistic overtaking chance, really. The battles do spill over into the rest of the circuit, but it's sort of created, and that's the starting point does always seem to be that run towards Tamburello, where you're able to get such a good run on the way down there, and a very good chance at overtaking as well. But there you go. Pascari under pressure here from Patrick Williams for 18th place, as these guys in the top 10 stay relatively far apart. Pascari is going to have one of these many places he's gained so far in the race, maybe taken off him, but he's held on there to 15 places. Williams coming back through the field, of course, after issues earlier on. Here is Jimenez on the back of Andy Flint, but he's not going to go anywhere this time round in towards Tamburello. So the battle for 8th place will have to be delayed for later. Well, how much later? Lap traffic right directly in front of them here. And that's Tony Dyke getting immediately out of the way there, 24th place, and lets these two through. In fact, he's overly generous to Noah Flugi as well, who was a second behind, but anyway, he's not really racing anybody, so doesn't mind giving up those couple of positions. Here comes Jimenez, nice line out of Tozer. He's going to have to continue to follow Andy Flint for now, though.
Yeah, he did. Nice management of blue flags there from Tony Dyke. Love that. That's it, really. I'm happy.
We have not got too many cars still running, actually, who have been lapped in this race. Most of the drivers have retired, as you said, down to Patrick Rowlands out of the race. Doria de Roe didn't start this race, and we've got 6 retirees. One of them, Jakob Olszewski, who is in YouTube chat, by the way, said that he can't catch a break this season. Yes, that's certainly seemed to be the case in recent times.
Yeah, and he's gone to play Le Mans Ultimate. Fair play.
He says he's been playing a lot of it recently. I've heard it's very enjoyable.
I've got it. I haven't played it.
I haven't played it myself.
No, I bought it. I got it when it was on beta release or early release or something. And I bought it. I played it once, I think.
Here comes Jimenez. Does he? Side by side with Flint in the background. Yes.
Oh!
Jimenez off in the background. Out wide through Tamburello. And he's going to lose out to Noah Flugi as well. He rejoins through the gravel and back round at turn 3. Was he? He was touched.
Squeezed.
He was touched there, and he goes wide.
Yeah, Andy Flint squeezed him up proper. Jimenez didn't have no choice. Watch this. Watch the movement from Flint just there. Oh, puts him on the grass.
Neck code again, isn't it?
Yeah, and a little bit of Tinternet may have played its part, but unfortunately for him, it was all a little bit too much. Stefan Dodder and Denny Cordu still fighting out for 6th and 7th. Battle starting to sort of dissipate a little bit here as well. Maybe 29 laps might be a little bit long.
We'll see. About third of the way through this one at the moment, as Cornu gets close to Dodder again. If these two really fight, then they would invite quite a lot of other drivers to the party. The gaps are not very big at all at the moment. It is worth a word briefly, by the way, while we wait for these two to get back onto the front straight again, and surely where the next move will be made, if there is one. Brent Ruiz is having an astonishing race so far in round number 10. 4 seconds now ahead of Lee Aberdeen, who I thought was gone after lap 1. There was a big battle for second place that Brent Ruiz was involved in. He came out on top of that. He raced up to the back of Aberdeen, passed him, and now he's raced away from him. A fantastic drive so far from surely a race winner in waiting. Here, meanwhile, come the leaders. Dodder are there, very nearly crashing into the lap car. And now, Cornu's going to try and come through.
Oh, Stefan.
Well, he is through. Well, that was slightly bizarre.
Just like
really
the
see
brakes.
Yeah, that was very weird. So weird. I even mixed up the two. I didn't even know who was who at one stage there. It was so weird. Dodder there, almost crashing into the back of a lap car, which was quite dangerous in itself, and then just letting Cornu out of the place. I don't really know what was going on at any point there.
No, he just well, one, he nearly hit post first, so that's fine. He managed to avoid that, and then he almost just kind of hit the brakes, and Cornu went through. It's like he just rolled over like my little dash hound, wanting his belly tickled. Wherever he went. Very bizarre. I don't really know on that one.
Really know what that was all about, but there you go. This is Solito and Amos, meanwhile, for 15th again, so Cazorla's gone off again. And he's now behind them. There he is, just ahead of Pascari. Patrick Williams has dropped off the back of Pascari as well there. So a couple of changes around in the bottom end of the field, but Solito and Amos still absolutely nose to tail at the moment. Amos still looking for that 18th, that 11th overtake of the day. Started down in 26th. It's a good game so far, but is yet to find one more in these last few laps. He's been struggling to get through.
Yeah, Giovanni Solito's been a little bit of a roadblock. Solito steady. I mean, that was a lot of curb he took on the entrance there. But these guys on the run now. Down into Ravazza. Double left-hander, stay to the right, start hitting your braking point about now. Down he goes, get it rotated into the dip, on the curb on the outside, curb on the inside, there you go. Now shift again, and this could be Amos's opportunity.
This is a lot closer than what we've seen in the past, although we haven't been following them the whole time. This does feel closer. Now, has he got the straight line speed? Is this the problem? I'd be surprised for someone who's made so many overtakes for him to be struggling in straight line speed, and he is struggling. There's your answer. There's why he hasn't been able to get through, and this is why it's good to spend a bit of time on board with these two. You can start to gain the characteristics of the cars, and well, there's your answer. Solito's way quicker in a straight line.
Surprising. Oh, Eddie. I am surprised at that. It looks like Amos has got better cornering. But when it comes to that run down from the Ravazza downwards, just doesn't seem to have anything. It was 1.9, and that draft never even remotely brought him in. Wow.
Well, he gained a slight bit, but it was nowhere near enough to make an overtake. So very surprising and puzzling now for Amos particularly as to how he's going to work his way through now. He's got to do it in one of these corners. Now he's got to go for it somewhere like this. He's much better through Acqua Minerale and things like that. He's got to stuff it down the inside somewhere like this through the Variante Alta, but he's not going to. Be a real lunge from back there. So he's got to be inventive here. Try and find somewhere else to go through, otherwise he could be in trouble. It's either Amos with a real high downforce setup, or it's Solito with a low downforce setup. And as Jonathan Cazorla catches them both, we'll find out the answer to that question as well.
Yeah, I've got some information on Brent Ruiz this week, taking part in officials for Super Formula Lights. He started 15 races. He won 10 of them. He podiumed in all 15. He had 9 poles. He turned 300 laps in total for the week, and he's led 204 of them. He apparently has been a beast.
How can he have only done 300 laps?
He's done 300
done
laps.
15 races.
Led for 204, and he started 15 of them. His average start was 4.1. His average finish was 1.47.
That's a pretty good average. especially race finishing. But I want to know who are the drivers who could actually beat him that regularly, based on what we've seen here today, because they sound very impressive as well. Who was that losing a place there? Was that Mackenzie Roon getting back behind Barani again?
Yeah, he crashed.
Yeah. Well, I suppose this could be a spin rather than a crash, but anyway, we'll not revisit that through the chicane. Barry Antialta over that second curb. You do want to be hitting it, but sometimes there's the wrong way of doing it, and he was avoided there by Barani, who went straight through. So Mackenzie Roon losing one of those places he worked so hard to regain.
Now left-hand side here. There he is. Stefan Dodderer has gone through. The corner has now lost that place to Dodderer. Dodderer is now chasing down Roon, who's making his own mistakes. And also, it looked like this battle has come to an end. Ooh, oh, he's too fast. Way too fast. And unfortunately for Giovanni Solito, it was game over on that one.
Around and loses his place to Eddie Amos. Noah Flugie has had to do a drive-through penalty, I think, there down the field. Oh no, he came to a stop. Excuse me, he came to a stop. So Noah Flugie back out onto the circuit again, a long way down. Giovanni Solito is going to just get through after that spin. No, actually, he's not. He's going to let Flugie get out ahead because there's no point holding him back. Tony Jimenez is suddenly back in 16th position. He's also been in, but that previous, so he's got some overtaking to do, although he's struggling there through Villeneuve, and there goes Patrick Williams.
Yeah, not having a good race as Jimenez at the moment in time. He's compounding his own misery, but Dodderer is having a great go with Denny Cornu. They're having an amazing race here. And if Mackenzie Roon does another spin, it's going to be another another place for these guys to gain there as well, because Mackenzie Roon does look like he's struggling a little bit.
The 2 places lost for him because Dodderer and Cornu are so close to each other. Interesting how Dodderer was so willing to get back past Cornu again after that, after letting him through so bizarrely and so easily earlier on. Cornu feels like he's just backing out there and saying, I'd rather be in second place in this group just for the moment, as they cross 5 laps to go. The countdown's on. And these final battles are going to be settled here. Just the one inside the top 10 at the moment, and it's one that's persisted throughout the race, really. Dennis Cornu versus Stefan Dodderer.
Yeah, and we've also got Bert-Jan van der Land and Townsma. They're just about, well, oh, okay, van der Land's going to go through there. Again, Townsma on the outside didn't really that much of a fight. Yeah, Piscari and Amos. Amos is going to take the inside line. No, he didn't, unfortunately. Well, then again, if you ain't got a straight line speed in that machine, he ain't going to be able to, is he? Let's be real.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Is it him who doesn't have the straight line speed, or was it Solito who had really good straight line speed? It's pretty hard to tell. I must admit, I didn't see a huge advantage for Amos through the corners. It was only pretty subtle, but it was enough for Solito to hold Eddie Amos back for enough period of time. Now up towards Piratella they come again, and these guys will battle to the end by the looks of things, but the way that he's been racing so far, it looks like Adrian Piscari is going to hang on to these places and maybe end up with 19 positions gained on the day.
Yeah, great job from Piscari. Just doing about his business, driving it, keeping it on track and picking up positions from everybody that's spinning. Eddie Amos has got Patrick Williams, however, seems very, very eager indeed to get past him. A little bit worried that they may come to contact there, but Dodderer is managing to hold on from Denny Cornu. They were on the run down into 1. Let's see how these guys get on the run down into 1 as well. And what is Eddie Amos's straight line speed going to be like when he comes out here?
Up to Brabazza they come. Patrick Williams, oh, I didn't get a good run there. Not as good as he needed, as the sun really begins to set, by the way, at Imola. It's a good job this race doesn't go on for another 10 more laps, otherwise they'll need a torch. Here comes Williams, though, even despite a bad exit. It does look like Amos is struggling for straight line speed here, despite the slipstream that he's getting there from Adrian Piscari. He's been completely destroyed, and look at that. That was very brave from Patrick Williams. Very nearly had a go at Adrian Piscari as well. Don't forget, Williams is coming back through the field after issues earlier on. Qualified 11th, and he's still down in 15th, so he maybe does have a bit of extra speed compared to these guys, but nevertheless, that was an impressively bold look in towards Tamburello there.
Yeah, also we've got Tony Jimenez joining on to the back of the pack. So there is Jimenez. So we're going to have a 4-car fight. 1:33.306 from Brent Ruiz. He just machine, doesn't he, this week?
Absolutely he does, yeah. 8 seconds. We have seen some pretty big winning margins in this series in the past. There's been some weeks where a particular driver has been really dominant, but very rarely when they come back from behind from second place, you sort of take away those laps that he was in second for. He could have had an even bigger winning margin. Here comes Amos back again, trying to get past Williams and regain that place, not able to do it. Tony Jimenez right in behind as well. This is a four-driver group that's going to be on until the end, I suspect.
Yeah. Williams getting through on Amos. They passed once and then they got back again. Like Amos got past him and then Williams got passed back again. Now it's going to be the run down into turn number 1 once more. On board with Patrick Williams we go. We're keeping an eye on the Cornu Dodderat situation. That's not really closing in at the moment. But here we go for Pat Williams. This is going to be another one that he's going to make on the way down into turn number 1. You can see Pescari sent him high and wide. Pescari's going to rely on the fact he didn't carry too much more speed. Well, we did. Job done.
Oh, big bit of curve there as well for Pescari. He's not going to get a very good run at all here. Look at this for Amos. He's got to do it now if he's going to. And again, he just backs out of it. Amos is really struggling when to make this move, to be honest. Pescari really clipped a curb there through turn 3. Tamburello really struggled, and Amos came up to the back of him, tried to go through, couldn't do it, and he might be stuck there now for the remainder. The advantage for him, though, is that Jimenez didn't look particularly threatening in towards Tamburello that time either.
No, but for Eddie Amos, is it not one of them occasions where he who hesitates loses? He seems to be losing more than he's gaining. And that could be the fact he was very, very hesitant with Giovanni Solito. He's been hesitant with Pescari. Williams has just said, well, if you're going to doodle around, son, I'm going to have you and the other one. And he did, and he got both of them. But, yeah, Amos seems very tentative. Very, very tentative to make any moves here.
Runes off. Mackenzie Runes off again. This time at Tamburello. Completely on his own. The unforced errors have cost him here tonight. And this is the latest of them. Oh, it's too fast in towards turn 2. He's up over the... Oh, dear. Very close to finding himself back on the circuit in front of everybody. And then just pulls off to the gravel to wait for a moment to rejoin. In fact, he doesn't bother. He just returns to the pit lane. Here comes Jimenez. He does have some straight line speed in the bank, clearly. And Eddie Amos goes back to 16th.
Yeah, Amos is going backwards faster than he's going forward here. So, unfortunately for him, not going too well. This is the closest battle on the track. Dodderat is opening up a little bit more of a gap over Denny Cornu. We're on the final lap of the race with Mr. Brent Ruiz. Oh, Dodderat has made a mistake. He's backwards. Oh, Stefan.
Alta again. Yep, and there's the spin. A shame for him because he was...
he's done it again.
No, he's all right. He's got space behind him, but he did lose out to Loris Bello when he didn't need to. Andy Fink was always going to get past him as a result of that spin anyway because he was so close behind. But there you go, 8th place for Dodderat. As the others gain. Pescari, meanwhile, finds himself behind Amos suddenly.
Yeah, Amos has managed to get through on him. Where's the leader at the moment? Oh, okay, he's half the track away. We will pick up. Pescari made a mistake. So it wasn't an active overtake from Amos almost. He made a mistake and that's why he managed to get through, which seems very bizarre for Eddie today. He just seems so tentative and wary of what's going on.
Oh, and Pescari could have got through there with his straight line speed, but he's not going to now because he just ran into the grass. Meanwhile, Brent Ruiz is coming through the final corners on a day in which he's dominated. He needs to, as far as the championship is concerned, with 2 drop weeks applied. He's 27 points behind Lee Aberdeen. This win isn't going to knock off many of those points, but it is going to put down a big statement to his main championship rival in this season of the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League. Round number 10 here at Imola is going to be won by Brent Ruiz in absolutely dominating fashion, coming from behind from second place to make an overtake and still win by 8 seconds at the line.
That is insane. Lee Aberdeen comes over in second, and I wouldn't even mind, but Aberdeen's not even slow. Yunis Amal's going to grab third, and that was Ruiz. Aberdeen out in front with nearly a 2-second gap. Ruiz come through and then he just closed him and drew out 7.8 seconds on him. Like 9 seconds that Ruiz got for Aberdeen. Dominant, absolutely dominant. And we've lost Pescari, unfortunately.
Yeah, he gained the most places on the day, but unfortunately he's lost them all at the end. He got into the grass.
Bang!
Through turn 4, he slammed into the wall. He couldn't continue. That's why he had to retire. He could no longer power that machine. Bizarrely, I think he's still going to be credited with the most amount of positions gained. Oh no, not quite. Excuse me. Adam Townsma is going to get it with 13 gained up to 11th place. Meanwhile, Oscar Arcinano and Nick Carty are going to be the final drivers over the line here, and they've got a battle to the line as well. It looks like Oscar Arcinano is going to win out, though.
I'll tell you what, he nearly made a mistake in outer, and that really nearly cost him for Arcinano. He needs to be a little bit more cleaner through Ravazza. Don't forget, this is quite a long run down here, so this could be very, very close here with these two. Take the inside, Arcinano covers him off. He's still got one more to go. It's going to be there to the line. Oh! Arcinano got it, and he had to cover off that inside line, otherwise Carty was going to have him.
Very close, but Carty couldn't quite lift himself from 20th place in the end, but it's still a game for both on the day. They'll be pretty pleased with their efforts. Brent Ruiz will be pleased with his as well. He's won this round of the championship by nearly 8 seconds ahead of Lee Aberdeen, with Yunus Amal rounding off the podium. Luca Varani and Dennis Cornu round out the top 5, with Andy Flint 6th. Lois Baylor got ahead of Stefan Dodder after his spin late on. Richard Van Veen had a very quiet race, finished 9th ahead of Jan van der Laan, with Adam Townsma the most positions gained up to 11th. Jonathan Cazorla made overtakes after his mistakes in the race today. He finishes 12th ahead of Patrick Williams, Tony Jimenez and Eddie Amos rounding out the top 15. 16th was Noah Fluggy, with Giovanni Solito, Simon Fessi, Nick Carty, Oscar Arcinano rounding out the podium, although Arcinano got a penalty, clearly. Very impressive, finishing 2 minutes 16 behind someone on a circuit that's 1 minute 30, but never mind. He must have had a penalty on the last lap, and so dropped down to 20th anyway. Adrian Pascari crashed on the last lap, so he will be credited with 21st after doing about 3/4 of the last lap. He did more laps, though, than Koji Ito, who finished 1 down, with Ludovic Ranson, who got out the pit lane after being clipped towards Tozer earlier and damaging his car. Jake Glasser as well, who smashed into a crash down, I think, at Variante Alta, if I remember correctly. Mackenzie Room retired 2 laps from the finish, as Tony Dyke finished 2 laps down as well. Sean Pulsifer, Patrick Rollins, Clark Williams, Jakob Olszewski, Elliot Flugie will not be classified, as they retired too far from the end, as did John McKenzie and Dorian Arroyo. Didn't start the race. Like I've not said someone, maybe Kevin Zemstra as well, but anyway, they will not be classified. They did not score enough laps. However, even the likes of Mackenzie Roon did, who had a pretty miserable afternoon. Well, that was a decent race. I actually enjoyed that. I normally struggle with races at Imola, to be honest. I think it's a pretty dull circuit for racing on, even if it is a good one for driving. But that was far from dull. That was exciting racing. At one stage, we nearly got 4 wide towards Tamburello. Probably a good thing that we didn't. But we did get plenty of great racing right throughout the field, and a sprinkling of incidents in there as well.
Yeah, we had a little bit of everything, didn't it? Let's be real about it. We had the overtakes, we had the racing, we had the confusion with Eddie Amos, we had pretty much a flying Koji Ito. It had it all, and I don't mind Tamburello. The thing, not up there with the favourites, but it ain't down there with the worst.
I'll tell you what, one is up there with my favourites, not particularly for driving, but for racing, certainly. The Red Bull Ring, which is coming up in 7 days' time. That's going to be a fantastic one. Make sure you join us, same time, same place, for the next round of the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League, as we close in on the end of the championship. Lee Aberdeen still very much in control, but Brent Ruiz has set down a marker here this afternoon, showing that he can challenge for that title. Come back in 7 days' time to see if he does. That's it, though, from us. Myself, Ian O'Leary, James Poppy. Goodbye from Imola. We'll see you in 1 week's time at the Red Bull Ring. Goodbye for now.
Go.